Hey, I'm Bryce Compton, and today we're going to be talking about different figures of speech. First, we're going to touch on why are figures of speech used. Authors use figures of speech for many different reasons. The first one is to provide emphasis. If they're going over a topic and they feel like they need to, make sure the reader pays attention to it, then they're going to use a figure of speech just to draw a bunch of attention to it. The second one is enhancement. If their author wants to enhance their speech, like make it sound smarter or make it feel like you're reading more in depth, then they're also going to use a figure of speech. And the last one is clarity. If the author feels like what they're saying isn't clear to the reader, or maybe their topic isn't getting across well enough, they're going to use a figure of speech to make sure it's clear and that the reader understands. The first one we're going to touch on is similes. A simile is a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind, used to make a description more emphatic or vivid. Now, similes are often confused with metaphors. The difference is, similes use like or as in the comparison, and metaphors don't. Two examples of similes are, I'm as fast as a tiger getting chased by a mosquito. So you see where the as is after fast. That makes it a simile. The second one is, she's crazy like a fox. This one also uses like, so you can see that's also a simile and not a metaphor. The second kind is personification. Personification is the attribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human, or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. Some examples of personification are, the lightning danced across the sky. This is a good example of personification because lightning can't actually dance. That's only something humans can do. So it's giving like a human quality to the lightning. The second example is, the wind howled in the night. Once again, wind can't howl, humans can. So you're giving the wind a human quality. The last one we're going to go over is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning sounds of neighboring words. Some examples of alliteration are, Sally sells seashells by the seashore, and Nick needed new notebooks now. You can see in both these examples that the letters in the front are all the same, or mostly the same. So Sally sells seashells by the seashells by the seashore all start with the letter S, giving it like a special sound. Like if the reader wanted you to draw attention by this, they're going to draw the attention by starting all the same with the S, and you're going to have to go back and reread that. The same thing is with the bottom example, all starting with N's. If you read that in like a normal story, you're going to want to go back and read that just to make sure you have the right concept. In conclusion, I think figures of speech are a good way to like spice up your story and make them better. And it can be used by any level of author, from someone who's been writing books for 50 years to someone who is writing a poem for their 7th grade English class. It doesn't really matter. Figures of speech can be used anywhere.